Welcome to Fanatics Sports Channel.
Stepping up to the couch, it's Brian, who led the league last season in cracked screens. But with his new athletic case, it looks like that won't be the case. Touchdown, Brian!
Promo code FANSPORTS for 10% off your purchase. Remember to smash that subscribe button like you're gaining health points on Zelda. Smash it. You need those health points. The Boston Celtics, a legendary franchise. 17 NBA titles. A city of championship teams. The New England Patriots just won a Super Bowl with a quarterback out of the 6th round, an MVP receiver who not only went in the 7th round, but used to play quarterback for Kent State. Boston, the home of Harvard, has always been the city of hard work, intelligence, efficiency, and not making any mistakes. The Celtics, like the Patriots, the Red Sox, and the Bruins, have always won by focusing less on one individual star and more on the team, collective. Try to get Tom Brady or Bill Belichick to glamorize themselves. You simply can't. The Boston Celtics players had guys like Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Hall of Famers, John Havlicek, Bob Cousy, even more Hall of Famers, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and Allen. Blue-collar, hardworking players who cared far more about winning than seeing their name in lights. They created dynasties and teams that went to multiple championship games. That brings me to the 2018 NBA playoffs, where Brad Stevens, another Boston genius as it were, had the young and injured Celtics team 7 games deep in tightly contested Eastern Conference Finals. The probability of this happening should have been little to none, considering the Celtics traded 2 of their starters to Cleveland the year prior. And Kyrie Irving, the asset that they traded for, had been injured the entire playoff run. To make matters worse, star free agent, who was the highest paid player in the salary, for the salary cap, Gordon Hayward, had a serious injury that kept him out the entire season as well as the playoffs. That left the Celtics with veteran Al Horford in the post, Marcus Smart at the point, backed up by Terry Rozier. Rookie Jason Tatum and second-year Jaylen Brown carried the load for the Boston and played in the backcourt and the front court. How did rookie Jason Tatum, second-year players Brown and Rozier lead the Celtics through the playoffs against superstars like Giannis Antetokounmpo, his team, the Bucks, or Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and the Sixers, seemingly with ease? How did his third-string point guard put up 20-plus points in multiple playoff games, only to get the nickname Scary Terry? How did Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, fresh young NBA players, carry the load for this injured Celtics team to take an NBA legend like LeBron James to 7 games? Well, I'll answer that question. LeBron would eventually win Game 7 and would lose in 2018 for the finals against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward would rehab in the offseason and come back to the Celtics camp. The 2019 regular season has been very up and down for the Celtics, and the issues are painfully obvious to anyone watching closely. Hayward seems to be making a comeback slowly and working to assimilate himself into the game plan. But Kyrie Irving has been surrounded with nothing but drama. In the summer of 2018, after Kyrie Irving was done rehabbing his knee, Irving told a packed Boston Garden for a rally that he would sign with the team following a 2019 season, but since then, the Celtics have struggled a lot. Irving's game is one that is truly a spectacle to watch. The man can handle the basketball in ways that most couldn't dream of. Irving is pretty much impossible to guard, but he's also toxic. The true reason that the Boston Celtics took their young core to the Eastern Conference Finals and took LeBron James to 7 games on the backs of those young players, 1 game away from the title, is because they played Boston-style basketball. They ran a game plan through their coach. They were disciplined. They made that extra pass. They didn't make mistakes, and they didn't focus on one star. Kyrie Irving can't help but focus on himself. Irving takes plays where he'll dribble up to 25 times, make 1 pass, and demand the ball right back, only to shoot a mid-range jumper. And you could say, oh, well, he's so skilled and he only does that a few times a game. Well, I would respond, no. He does it 4 to 5 times a game, and sometimes in very, very key moments. I can also guarantee that Brad Stevens does not approve of these methods at all. Irving suffered a right knee sprain already this season and is prone to knee problems pretty much every year. Irving also has a huge attitude problem and is relatively condescending. Why do I say this? While voluntarily talking to the media outside of required press time, Irving suggested to reporters that he had to call his former teammate LeBron James to apologize. The reason? His young teammates were being quote-unquote, too immature for him, and he has to deal with that. This coming from a guy who can't stay on the floor, and when he's on the floor, or when he's off the floor rather, his team doesn't even slow down a little bit. One could argue their team is better, it's more fluid. Statistically speaking, Kyrie Irving puts up great numbers, better than anyone on his team, I'll admit that. But now in February, Irving has been hurt 2 going on 3 games. The first game with the 76ers, their playoff opponent from the playoffs before. Without Irving again, the Celtics won. Tonight they took care of Detroit, and with the ball mostly in Brown and Tatum's hands, the Boston Celtics are playing Boston basketball again. I think Danny Ainge built a contender through the draft and he doesn't even realize it yet. We keep hearing Celtics could trade Anthony Davis, Celtics could trade Jaylen Brown or Tatum. So much so that there's rumors that young rising star Jason Tatum said he would welcome a trade. He'd welcome a trade to New Orleans. He wants to be the face of a franchise. It doesn't sound like he even wants to play with Kyrie Irving, and who could blame him? In his rookie year, he went deep in the playoffs without Kyrie Irving, and all Irving does is take the ball out of his hands. I'm here to say to Celtics Nation and Danny Ainge if he's listening, I know you know talent, but take yes for an answer. Squash these rumors about your young stars getting traded. Get rid of Kyrie Irving, get the best you can get from him. Keep drafting and building around your young genius coach and let this thing happen organically. You don't need one big star. You don't need someone worried about their brand first. You don't need Kyrie Irving. You need to win by the collective. You need to win like a Boston team.